Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Nick Fershaw, looking back at the biggest headline from Thursday, and it's Landon Donovan's first public comments since he took that winter hiatus following the Galaxy's win an MLS Cup last December. Now, Andrew, he said a bunch of things in this interview down in Washington, D.C., perhaps the most important. Got the itch to come back earlier this month, and he could be back in just a few weeks.
Yeah, it's about what we expected from Landon Donovan. Now, the big issue here is when exactly will he play for the LA Galaxy? The target, according to Landon, was April 6th against Montreal. Of course, that game moved the MLS, setting things up for the LA Galaxy to have that rest before the Monterrey first leg of the CONCACAF semifinals. So we'll see about that. He said he's still up in the air. It's a Bruce Arena decision. But he also said, I want to come back to the U.S. national team. There's a lot of work to do. He acknowledged that. He'll have to prove himself, get back in the good graces of Jurgen Klinsmann. But it seems as though we could see his return potentially for those June games against Jamaica and Panama. But likely not a captain for the LA Galaxy. He said, hey, I know that some people might perceive my actions as uncaptain-like. Right now, clearly Robbie Keane, the captain of that side. But what happens if Keane is injured? We'll have to see after he comes back.
Find that article on MLSsoccer.com. And one other bit of news you're going to find in the kickoff this Friday morning. That's an interview with Robbie Rogers in The Guardian, a very revealing interview with the former Columbus Crew star, in which, Andrew, he talks about potentially training with the LA Galaxy and Bruce Arena. Find that on the kickoff on Friday morning. We're looking ahead at Saturday's action, the national television game on the NBC Sports Network. It's a good one. The Philadelphia Union at the New York Red Bulls, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Now, Thierry Henry and Fabian Espinola are both question marks for the Red Bulls, both battling injuries. But our own Cory Gibbs explains why the New York Red Bulls defense might be the key in this I-95 rivalry game.
Thanks, guys. It's fair to say that it's been a rough start for New York Red Bulls rookie coach Mike Pecky, but I'm optimistic that things will turn around soon enough. Besides the lack of quality goals, their defense needs to tighten up in all areas. Last week against Montreal, they were beaten down the spine too often. Holgerson and Pearce were out of sync on DeVayo's goal, and Holgerson struggled against DeVayo all night long. Because of their lack of athleticism, they can't play a high line because they're going to get beat by pace. So the key against Philadelphia is to have a reasonable line and stay as compact as possible. If this can be done for 90-plus minutes, I'm sure that the offense will take care of the rest. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cory. Now the Philadelphia Union on the road in this one really quickly. What do they need to do to get this result against a shorthanded Red Bulls?
Well, I think you need to get service into Jack McInerney. Cory Gibbs talked about it. Look, that back line is not exactly familiar with each other, and McInerney's slashing runs, those runs to the front post, that's what's really going to cause them trouble. If you can find him in the box, good chance of pulling it out of Red Bull Arena.
Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Network, the Philadelphia Union at the New York Red Bulls. Catch the live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Next up, a brand new feature on MLSsoccer.com. It's the live stream of the week presented by El Jimador. Now, on your laptops this weekend, you can watch this game for free. Sporting Kansas City at home against the Montreal Impact, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. It's also on MLS Live for paying customers. This is a good game. Sporting Kansas City at home, looking to sort of reverse a trend in the early season against an Impact team that is still the only perfect team in the league.
Yeah, and Sporting Kansas City knows all about perfection. Remember last year they started out with that long winning streak. They'll be looking to break this one. Struggling right now to score goals, and the one team you don't want to see if you're having that problem is the Montreal Impact. Peter Ramis told our own Jeff Bradley that, look, we expect them to come in and bunker, to sit back and be organized. Now, Marco Schellebaum and the Impact probably wouldn't be happy to hear that. They think a little bit more of themselves than just a bunker team, but certainly their organization has been key. And if they can get Marco DeVayo on the right side of that offside line, had a lot of struggles with that last week, it's a very good chance that they'll stay perfect after a huge game at Sporting Park.
Two big question marks for Sporting Kansas City. Will Graham Zusi play, and will Matt Besler play? Obviously coming off that big game with the U.S. national team on Tuesday night. Can they turn it around and appear on Saturday? 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you catch it. It's live on MLSsoccer.com for free. The live stream of the week presented by El Jimador. Last but not least, fantasy fans, make sure you log on, fantasy.mlssoccer.com. Get your team set before the games start on Saturday. Andrew, give me 3 guys that I should buy going into this weekend.
Well, I've been a proponent of Jackson for a few weeks now down in FC Dallas. He's one to pick up. Sebastian Letou in Philadelphia. Look at that Red Bulls defense. Cory Gibbs talked about it. Not the most organized right now. He'll have a great chance to pick up points. And then if you need a cheap goalkeeper, Clint Irwin, he is going to stay between the pipes for the Colorado Rapids. Those are just 3 to pick up. If you need more information, remember, get your lineup in before the start of the games on Saturday. You can also check out the starting lineup with myself and Jason Zagini. We answer all your questions ahead of the week.
fantasy.mlssoccer.com. That's where you can log on and fix your lineup before this Saturday. And you might want to tune into Extra Time Radio. The latest edition of the podcast came out on Thursday. Interviews with Matt Beasler from the U.S. national team and John Hackworth, the head coach of the Philadelphia Union, who broke down the departure of Freddie Adu. Catch that on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and Buzzsprout. That does it for us. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you back on Monday.